Hi, everyone. Uh, this is My name is Eduardo Ahumada-Tello. I'm going to present this paper, which is entitled Internal and External Happiness Triggers for Customer Behavior Motivations. I'm presenting on behalf of my colleagues, Rafael Ravina Ripoll, Estela Galvan Vela, and Luis Vallardo Tobar Pesantes. I'm from Autonomous University of Baja California in Tijuana, Mexico. And my colleagues are from University of Cádiz, in Cádiz, Spain, from CETIS University in Tijuana, Mexico too, and from Salesian Polytechnic University in Cuenca, Ecuador. This is the overview of our presentations. We're going to begin with the abstract, then introduction and literature review. We're going to go ahead with the methodology, results, conclusions, and some references. The abstract says as follows: the marketing happiness paradox puts us at the center of the discussions, the phenomenon defined as the need for companies to provide a sense of happiness to consumers through the products they buy. However, this is only under the premise that this happiness is temporary, since by having this nature, the consumers must return to make a new consumption of product that now has a characteristic that the first one does not have. So the consumer must feel dissatisfied or unhappy with it. He will be happy in a continuous cycle when he makes a new consumption. In order to understand this phenomenon in the consumer of technology-based product, an instrument was developed and applied to 384 employees of the information and communication technology industry in Mexico. To do so, a structural equation model carries out a structural equation model. Its results confirm the two research hypotheses of this study. These are that external and external happiness factors positively influence the purchasing behavior of technology-based consumers in emerging economies. Finally, the discussions and conclusions of results, practical implications, limitations, and future research directions shows this in this paper. As an introduction literature review, we are talking about developing sustainable consumption habits has been the subject of ongoing study from various marketing perspectives. This seems to be some sort of interesting from several companies that try to sell their products to the same customers, trying to get them happy with their with the purchase, but not so happy that they will stop buying the same product again and again as soon as the provide as the manufacturer put some new characteristics into the new version of the same product. Let's say a phone, the phone is going to have a new version and a new version and a new version, and so the customer will continue to buy the next one and the next one and the next one, and he will continue to feel happy as soon as he buy another one. So that's the paradox of marketing. You feel happy that when you buy the first phone, but when the second version of the same phone arrives, then you don't feel as much happy as you feel when you buy the first time, because you need to buy the second version of the same phone or the new version of the phone. So this is the paradox that says that marketing tries to sell you happiness, but only a temporary happiness. Needs needs for this happiness are initiated by those triggers that originate in beliefs, expectation, and desires stemming from the customer's individuality. Why do people do that? Why people try to feel happy from purchasing something and then feel happy for a small amount of time, only until the new version of the same product arrives. When needs originate in group requirements, they can be considered external triggers. So there's internal triggers that came with the individuality of the customer, and then the group triggers that came with the group where the customer is inserted. This paper aims to analyze the degree of internal and external trigger of happiness perceived in a group of Mexican customers and entrepreneurs of young employees in IT companies in northern Mexico. In a context where marketing is trying to increase sales, it is important to know what drives consumers to decide to buy a specific item. Is the internal motivation stronger than the external one, or vice versa, or both are the same? Are people happy with their buying options in a permanent way? Is that the purpose of marketing? These are general questions. These are our own motivation to perform this kind of this research. So Internal happiness factors. There is literature in internal happiness factors. Some common factor of internal happiness include positive mindset, emotional resilience, personal value, among others. There is an association between the categories like positive mindset, emotional resiliency, self-acceptance, self-esteem, personal values, authenticity, emotional intelligence, mindfulness, present moment awareness, personal growth, and learning, among another one. But these are some of the factors that drives the internal motivation to try to achieve happiness. This and in our own research, we developed the first hypothesis that it says that internal happiness factors and consumer behavior have a positive and statistically significant relationship. Among these are the categories of for internal happiness. In the external happiness factor, refer to external circumstances or factors that can influence a person's overall happiness and well-being. Some factors can be related as social relationships, meaningful work, health, and physical well-being. In the categories are social relationships, financial security, health, physical well-being, meaningful work, personal fulfillment, environment and surroundings, personal achievement, among others. So we developed the second hypothesis that it says that there is a positive and statistically significant relationship between external happiness factors and consumer behavior. So this is the second one, and from this we can move to the concepts, the core concept that happiness importance. It is important to nurture productive and innovative ecosystem that enriches happiness. So people can feel some sort of happiness from the things that they are trying to do or trying to achieve, and also trying to own, like technological uh, um, goods or some things from the inner inner self or the outer things that they can achieve from the group perspective. These require public policies, formulating and governance strategies to increase subjective well-being of human capital as a way to improve business performance. Because the business try to increase sales, and they try to develop different strategies so they can improve their own sales, their own client base, and their own satisfaction to the clients, so they can improve their own market penetrations, market niche, and develop new products, develop new new satisfaction for the people that wants their own goods. Entrepreneurs' happiness is an important factor for country economic growth. So people who are trying to develop their own businesses, they have to understand that people are looking for something that fulfills some need. And those needs that the people are trying to fulfill can come from internal factors or external ones. We need to identify which socio-demographic factors that affects employees and managers' happiness too, because people can be defined as by socio-demographic factors such as gender, age, ethnicity, and other different factors that can be can differentiate people and their own uh, buying behavior. So subjective well-being is a factor that has become an important element to consider when we analyze economic achievement in organization and personal level, and buying and also consumer behavior. This could influence the development of strategies oriented to increase business results and personal competitiveness as well. Uh, this leads us to motivation to consume behavior. What lead us to consume? The need for and problem solving, emotions and desires, identity and social influence, status and prestige, customization, value and price, trust and reputation, conveniency and efficiency. These are some of the motivations that drive us to have a behavior that is focused on consumption. So when a firm um, and a company tries to sell their products, it needs to analyze which of these uh, drives or main reasons are the ones that motivates a consumer to buy their own products. So when we try to analyze technology-based products, then there's another characteristic that we are looking into them, like functionality and performance, novelty and innovation, social influence and status, entertainment and enjoyment, communication, connectivity, personal and professional development, cost savings, and value. These are the main characteristics for technological products. So when the people try to want to buy some products in the technology-based products, then these are the main drives that they are looking for, the characteristic that they are looking into those products. So our methodology is this study is quantitative as response were recorded on a scale to proceed to statistical measures. The design was non-experimental, that the study variables were non-modified, but were analyzed according to their nature. It was cross-sectional, as the data collection was carried out in a single point, late 2023. Population and sample, that's where there's a single, uh, it was in late 2023. There's a mistake in that number. Our research methodology, this is the sample was 384 employees of the technology-based sector. The question were in a 7-point Likert scale. We have 9 items for consumer behavior, 9 items for internal factors, and 9 items for external factors. These are the proposed model. You can see our two hypotheses in this space: internal factors, the relationship with consumer behavior, and external factors. And our results is as follows. This is our technical sheet. The study universe, technology-based consumer, the values undefined, because we have a lot of people working on that area. So the contact strategy was online questionnaire, and using the formula to calculate the sample size with an undefined universe, using for an error of 5%, a level of confidence of 95%, and PQ equals 50%. The number is 384, a sample of 384 persons answering our questionnaire. So that was the sample that we were able to achieve. And the nature of our sample were 43% male, 57% female, 91% bachelor, 8.1% graduate, 93% single, 1% divorced, 3.9 married, 2.1 other relationship or marital status. Almost everyone was Mexican, only 1% are American. And then the reliability analysis of our questionnaire was that the internal factors are independent variables, internal and external factors, and the dependent variables are consumer behavior. We have 9 items in each one. The Cronbach alpha is very high, 0.908, 9.916, and 0.885 for consumer behavior. We can see the other, the different index that we apply. All of them are very high, are very good. Even the AVE, it's above 0.5. That is the value that we are looking for in that index. In our correlation analysis, Pearson correlation analysis, we have that consumer behavior and internal factor have a correlated value of 0.78, and p-value is less than 1%, and consumer behavior and external factors are 0.665, and p-value is less than 1%. This interpretation does not imply causality. The significant relationship only implies that variables will co-vary in a relationship exists between them. So it is understood that we have a covariation between those variables. When one varies, the other one varies too, in a positive way and a significant way. So this kind of validate our hypothesis. These are the results of the summary of the model with the R square. The result for R square is 0.602. Obtained as shown in table 5, indicate that 60.4%, this value, of the variable consumer behavior explains by the dimension used in this study, internal and external factors. This means that the 60.4% of the phenomenon of consumer behavior is explained by the internal and external factors. The other 39.6% is explained by other variables that were not analyzed in this study. And this is the coefficients model. So we can see here that we have in all the values, we have a high significance, and we have a good collinearity statistics. So we have, according to the beta and significance coefficient value, the variable external factors, P p-value is 6.622, p-value is 0%, 0, less than 1% had a positive statistical relation with consumer behavior, and it is the most critical construct influence the variable. So internal factor is the most critical, influencing the variable, the dependent variable consumer behavior. Similarly, external factor has 0.2653. This is the value, external factors, and p-value less than 1% are the second dimension with a positive statistical significant relationship. So this means that internal factors are more important or more relevant to affect consumer behavior than external factors. In this in this um, uh, in this research, we can find that people are more likely to follow their own internal factors to decide whether or not to buy some goods than the group influence over them. So predictive equation and a hypothesis results are in here. This is our predictive equation derived from these values. This is 0.5, 0.519, 0.622, 0.253 are here. This is the predictive equation, and both of the hypotheses are accepted. In more process predictive equation illustrated in table 7, this is the table indicate that we have confirmed the both hypotheses. And then this is the adjustments of the model using the PLS model, the equation, uh, the this structural equation modeling, where we can find that the value index, the first normalizes the root means SRMR. This statistical test consider a model of a good fit when it's indicate measure values below 0.08, and we can find that the value is below 0.0608. The second is the square Euclidean distance, which indicates that a model fit well when the value exceeds 0.05, which we can see here is above. Moreover, the last one is name fit index or Butler and Bonnet index, NFI. This index indicates that values must be above 0.09 to consider an acceptable threshold for the measure. And you can see here that the value is according to the test. And these are the result tests, and this is the theoretical model using a smart PLS. So internal happiness are an influential element in developing customer behavior motivation, and are the most important one because we can see on the value that we obtain that this is the most important one. And the second one, similarly, external happening are a determining factor in developing customer behavior motivation as well. This term motivates us to explore the possibility of proposing a paradox due to the duality of both analyses. Both of them are confirmed. In our conclusions, the individuals who are a stakeholder of an organization are a fundamental part of the outcomes that can achieve. From this perspective, we can expecting are essential in determining whether the is affecting on its productivity and competitiveness after assessing how the motivation of consumer behavior affects the competitiveness of the firm. So in order for a firm to be competitive, they need to be aware of the consumer behavior of their clients and how they can be managed to improve their sales or the willingness to buy the second version of their own products. Hypothesis one is accepted. There is a positively statistically significant relationship between internal happiness factor and consumer behavior. We can see that it is confirmed with the literature, and the hypothesis two, it is also accepted. And like these are the references. This one, a little bit of our references, and thank you very much. This will be our. You can contact me in this email. Thank you very much.